Okay, good afternoon. My name is Donna Fiesel, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications. That's in North Alabama. You'll also find us on syndicated Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. And we're not done. You can also find us on the podcast, Net News Network. Net, all the social media pages. And so anyway, really excited to be with you today. So I have Galloway and company with me right now. This is a music group, Andrea and Murray Galloway. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's Galloway.
Is it Galloway? What did I say?
Galloway.
Oh, I thought I said Galloway. Must be that Southern English going on there. Okay, well, thank you so much for being on the show. And so let's talk about your group. Talk about how long have you been singing?
Well, we've been married. First of all, thank you for the invitation. We've been married for 36 years, but we had our first official concert as Galloway and Company last year on Memorial Day weekend. And it all came about very unexpectedly, where 2 years ago, we went to a concert in Jackson, Tennessee on the spur of the moment and just sitting there relaxed and listening. And God spoke to me as a group was up about a guy that was singing, and I didn't even know who he was. And over the next week or so, I contacted them by email, and he answered me immediately. Had no idea I was talking to a Dove Award winner. It was John Darren Rousey of the Guardians. And one thing led to another, and he talked me into recording my songs that had been sitting in a desk drawer, some of them for 40 years, and it just kind of mushroomed, snowballed from there. It's been quite a ride.
Yeah, I bet it has. So let's talk about your style of music.
Okay, I would say that is very hard to pinpoint, because one song people think we're Southern gospel, one will think that we're country, sometimes a little pop mixed into that. But if I was saying style, I would say more of a 80s, 90s country sound than I would anything else. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a little bit of that easy listening country that used to be.
I hope so.
Yeah, real easy. So you're also a songwriter?
Yes, ma'am. I did not realize that as probably that's one of the biggest things that's come out of this is my wife and my sister and my daughters didn't even know I had these songs. And John talked me into letting him listen to them. And it unlocked something in me for someone of his caliber to tell me I was good enough. And now I write all the time. I don't know how good they are. Everybody has to be their own judge of that. But that's been what God's done for me through this is he's used John to show me that I'm good enough to let people hear these songs. I had never let anyone hear them before now.
It's a gift, definitely a gift. So where do you guys live?
We live in Pontotoc, Mississippi, which is close to Tupelo, if you know where that is.
Yeah. How close is that to Saltillo, Mississippi?
Oh,
about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. My husband's sister and her family lived there for a while. They moved just pretty close still by. But anyway, so that's how we knew. And been to Tupelo. Was a little amazed to see Elvis's house. It wasn't his birthplace.
I don't know what you were expecting, but if you were expecting a big house, it wasn't very big.
It wasn't a big house. Yeah. But most people lived like that back in those days, so there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. We have a lot of things now they didn't have back then.
Oh, yeah. We're a little spoiled nowadays.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Andrea, tell us where you fit in with this group.
Well, I sing the alto part, and I also do I do a lot of the things in the office for the group, and make the graphics and design things for our media and advertising. So that's what I do.
I'm more of the creative guy, and then she's the engine of everything we do. She makes everything that we do work, because I just come in a lot of times with something on a napkin written down, and she
She
takes
has to
it from there.
decipher it.
Yeah, she has to figure it out, but she makes everything work, not just for the music group, for our family. Definitely everything revolves around her, but I'm more of the creative guy, and she's the one that is practical and makes everything work. So she won't tell you that, but I will.
I can kind of tell. So how did you guys meet?
We met at a church camp in Indiana, Brazil, Indiana. And at the time I was not available and was engaged to someone else, actually. And
I stole her.
we met. So, and I guess the rest is history, huh?
Yeah, lots of history since then.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, you guys seem to really be a team. Is it difficult to work with your spouse? I mean, you guys are around each other all the time.
Yeah,
Is it difficult, or do you have any remarks you could, some tips you could give us on couples working together?
Well, definitely. It is great to work with him. We do need our space every once in a while, just, our alone time and to get out away from each other sometimes. So, but for the most part, I mean, we get along really good. So
I do all the talking publicly, and she does all the talking privately. So we have a pretty good deal.
That works. That definitely works.
We have two daughters that are 22 and 24 years old, and one is me and one is her. So it's been that way with them their whole lives too. One does all the talking publicly, and one does all of it privately. So there are times that we need some space. She needs me to get out of her hair a little bit, and I'm a pretty neat guy. Most of the time, I'm a clothes hog. I don't fish. I don't hunt. I don't do any of those things. So I like to dress up. I have more clothes than a woman. It's pitiful, but
he does. Yeah.
But believe it or not, with all of that, the people see me at church. I don't guess we've talked about this yet. I'm a pastor, and people see me at church, and they see us at the singings, and they can't imagine that what I do to unwind is get out and get dirty. I do it working.
That's what I like to do. I like to work out in the garden and get
dirty. Me too.
Yeah,
me too. I was just doing that this morning.
And I work, building stuff, remodeling a house, painting, and that kind. But it hurts worse now than it used to. But that's another story.
Definitely. So what would you say to folks? We are really in a topsy-turvy world right now where good is evil and evil is good. We've heard about this all of our lives, but never seen it happen quite like it is now.
Well, it is very different. You figure out, or should figure out, in the last 3 or 4 years what's really important. And I think some of it's getting older too. You just realize, if you don't realize already, folks, realize that all those folks that you're worried about their opinions, they don't truly care what's going on in your life anyway. So just figure out who you are, and for sure figure out what your relationship with God is, and just be comfortable. You have to live in your own skin. Find out where we all know that, even if this sounds churchy, so be it. We know that our real security lies in God. And so just figure out who you are and how you do it. I don't care if you go to church in flip-flops and shorts and t-shirt, or if you're wearing, a lot of churches now, the only thing holy in them is their jeans, but that's just my old man talking.
That's another story.
Yeah, that's another story. I don't care if you dress up. I don't care what you do, but figure out who you are in Christ and where you're comfortable, and live that way. You don't have to have all the stuff that, or at least I don't have to have all the stuff that other people seem to have to be happy, and just realize where your true security and your true happiness comes from, and just live that way.
You also need, especially in these days, your foundation needs to be the Word of God.
Has to be.
And make sure you study and read it, and don't that never changes. That's the foundation that you need to live your life on.
Okay,
doesn't matter about the culture. It's just.
I'm going to read Sunday. Make sure you study it, read it, and number 3, practice it. Because when you put it into practice, is what's effective in your life. Doesn't matter how much you can quote if you don't practice it. So practice it. Just put it into practice in your life. Do the best you can to do that. And just my own personal soapbox or pulpit, concentrate on positive things. Concentrate on your blessings, and that changes your mindset. What you think about and what you talk about produces your mindset. And so you can make up your mind. You have all the tools available to you, whether to be happy or not. It's a choice because of what Christ has done for us. So I advise you very strongly to do that. In fact, doing this music is a product of that thinking, because it's who I am, who we are. And, don't worry about if you don't like someone's particular style or whatever, because I don't care if you sing out of the Redback hymnal or sing the latest, greatest contemporary stuff. I don't care if you play spoons or play the latest computerized music. Worship doesn't come from any of that. It comes from your heart. So find what you can worship with and do that, and be comfortable in your own skin, and make sure that you present your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. As long as you're worshiping, there's a difference in singing and worshiping, but make sure that you're worshiping in whatever you do, and focus on the positive. And whatever you focus on, that's what you're going to produce. Sorry for the sermon. I couldn't help it.
No, that's okay. Now, what do you say about social media? Some people say it's the best thing that ever happened to us, and some people say social media is the absolute worst thing that's ever happened. What's your take on that?
You want to answer that, or you want me to?
Well, it can be both.
Yeah.
I mean, you just have to. You can use it as a good tool to spread good things, but it can also be used for other things. And you just have to make sure you are mindful of which one you're doing, and what you respond to, and what you're looking at. So also, it's really easy to get wrapped up in it and lose track of time. So you have to make sure you don't take too much time on it.
I say to people, because social media has caused more problems in churches in the last 25 years than anything else combined, all the rest combined. And I say to people, if you can't like it, love it, or say something positive about it, pass it on by.
Some people use it as a gossip tool, and maybe to cut down other people. And I don't like those people. I don't do anything divisive or anything like that. I just don't look at their feed. I mean, you can always just don't look at it. Don't cause an argument. Don't cause anything, because people are watching us, and they're watching the way we handle situations.
Well, we have enough negativity in our life without taking on everyone else's.
Right.
And if you're going to live a positive, faith-filled life, you have to focus on positive things.
Absolutely. You know something? We have to go into a commercial break. We went just a little bit fast. We'll be right back in just a few minutes. Everybody hang in. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to limonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Limon's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Limon's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes.
Are you ready?
We all wonder what tomorrow will bring, but the future lays itself at the feet of the prepared and surrenders to the will of the persistent. It's not easy, but today shapes you so you can shape tomorrow. With Northeast Alabama Community College, when the future asks if you're ready, you can answer.
Yes.
Begin your future at Northeast Alabama Community College.
Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers.
Looks like you've been sleeping well.
Megan, he's back. The My Pillow guy.
And you're looking good.
Still feeling good.
Well, just when you thought it couldn't get any better, we've got the best pillow ever, My Pillow 2.0.
The best sleep just got even better. Whether you have a MyPillow or not, you need to get the brand new MyPillow 2.0. Call or go to mypillow.com now. Use your promo code, and for a limited time when you buy one, you'll get a second one absolutely free.
Donna's Designs offers a line of handmade memorial, wedding, and keepsake jewelry that launched back in 1970. I'm a self-trained jewelry designer, and I will work closely with you to create unique designs you can love and treasure for years to come. Whether that be flowers that were used in a funeral arrangement or stones you found on the beach at a memorable trip, call me at 256-659-4319, and let's think of the possibilities. The only place I buy my beef is Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama. Their cattle is born and raised on their ranch, grass and grain fed, and you can feel confident when you serve your family and friends because their beef is all natural and no antibiotics or hormones are added. You can buy whole beef or perhaps go in with family or friends and buy half. Their customer service is number one as they take care of the delivery to their local processor and can deliver to your home for a small added fee. They also offer herd replacement heifers. I always call Lone Tree Ranch in Collinsville, Alabama for my beef specialty recipes and cookouts, and you can too. Food shortages are increasing, so buy local by calling 256-523-6462. That's 256-523-6462. Good afternoon. We are back. My name is Donna, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications, and Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. We're talking with Galloway and Company. So great to be with you guys today. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you for the invitation. We appreciate it.
We're also talking about social media and all the weirdo things that are happening in this world today. So, and I have to tell you this, because I'm very political too. I'm a patriot. I love my country, but I won't argue with anybody on Facebook. So, and it's even some of my own family members. So I will put something on Facebook and they'll start something to try to trigger me. And I don't bite it. I don't take the bait. So what I always do when somebody starts that, I'll say, I love you. That's all I say. And it drives them crazy. They want me to argue, and I'm just not going to do that. Because, again, I think people are watching everything we do. They see how we react to things. And then, and I promise you, a Christian can say something back, and people are going to take it the wrong way, whereas a non-Christian could get worse, and people don't think so much of it. It's just that we got to be so careful.
Someone said to me a long time ago, I wish I could remember who it was, but they taught me to act instead of react. That means simply think about what you're going to say or what you're going to do before you do it, and be intentional. And so we were talking about social media. About 95% of the time or more, the best way to act is to just do nothing. Just pass it on by. Just keep scrolling.
That's true, because I don't want to be in a bad mood. And it'll put you in one if you get tangled up in that web. It appears like I think the enemy, Satan, wants to divide everybody.
Absolutely.
I mean, think about this. Even a simple thing like Coke and Pepsi. Satan can get you arguing about that. You know, I like Coke, you like Pepsi, just little things like that. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you how I know our marriage is a strong one. I'm an Auburn fan. My husband's an Alabama fan, and we're making it.
How is that possible? All things are possible.
All things are possible. Absolutely. So anyway, you can make anything work. Just don't make a huge argument out of every single thing, so that's important. Now, do you guys, where do you sing? Are you all over the country?
Well, it's amazing. We seem to be 500 miles from Pontotoc all the time. You can just draw a circle around Pontotoc, and we're 500 miles away all the time, everywhere from Indiana to Texas. And don't know how that happened. I wrote a little song about Pontotoc and called it 500 Miles from Anywhere. Because we
maybe that's why.
Yeah.
We've had the invitation to go to California and Colorado. We just haven't been able to get out there yet. So we'd love to, but we just haven't gone out there yet. So.
Oh, don't listen to what the news media says to you about California. I know some fantastic people from California.
Yeah,
so do
we do too.
Yes,
we pastored out there for 4 years in the late 80s, early 90s. And we love California. We have great friends in Central California that want us to come, but it's hard to go all the way to California for one singing, So if when he sees this, he'll call and start fussing at me. Every one of our good friends there, but we're in Pontotoc. I'm from Pontotoc originally, and we've been all over the country over the years since we've been married. Pastored in California, pastored in Jackson, Tennessee for 15 years. Then my father died 20 years ago, and they talked me into coming back to take the home church. And it's been the toughest church we ever tried to pastor, because here I'm just Murray. And hometown is tough in that. But on the other hand, there's some very good things too. A lot of people that, you just have connections because of being around here most of your life. And God's been good to us with that. And what we do is so unusual, Donna. It's hard to even explain what we do, because we also work with small churches and have small churches that we oversee in 7 different states. And, I've been sitting here debating whether to talk about this or not, but we were talking about you said something about you refuse to argue with people. Well, it reminded me, we were just at Singing in the Sun in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. And people always want to know, are you Baptist? Are you Pentecostal? Are you Methodist? They just go through the list. Mm-hmm. And it drives them crazy when I say we're non-denominational. And I get this all the time. This guy says, oh, you don't know what you believe. And my response has become, I know exactly what I believe, but I'm not willing to argue with you about it. Mm-hmm. Because if you profess Christ as your Savior, I claim you as my brother or sister, whether you claim me or not. And some things aren't worth all the effort that we put into arguing. Mm-hmm. And we need to be trying to win someone to Christ instead of arguing all the stuff that is argued about.
We go to Cowboy Church. No, that's exactly true. We go to the Cowboy Church, and some of the rumors about what we do at Cowboy Church, somebody once asked me if we rode horses in the church, and I said, no, we don't ride horses in the church. We're a church. And then somebody said that somebody started the rumor that we shoot guns inside the church. And I'm like, no, we don't. But I will tell you this. I can't imagine anybody being foolish enough going to a Cowboy church to try to shoot anybody at it, because I promise you, everybody there is packing. Even the grandmothers.
We're going on 2 or 3 years ago. I went to a little church in Indiana, and I was very concerned about that. So they were talking about having gun safety classes and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The guy sitting back in the sound booth said, Pastor, you don't have to worry about that. Well, he was retired Special Forces and had been carrying the whole time, and I didn't even know it. He said, I got you back. Nobody will get down there. So we didn't need to have classes. That worked out.
That's true. God provides. Absolutely. Yeah. As a matter of fact, we were going to a church prior to going to this one. And so my husband and I carry. And so that people just couldn't believe I carried. They said, you carry? And I said, I've been carrying for years. I just don't show it. Because first of all, if somebody's going to come into a room setting and you're carrying and you're showing you got a gun, you're the first one they're going to take out.
Exactly. We found out in the church in Pontotoc, we found out that none of the men are carrying, but there's 3 or 4 women that have it in their purse. So I'm depending on them to have my back if we have a problem.
I'm gonna tell you, my great grandmother, she was outside with 2 of my uncles. They were little boys then, and so they were trying to shoot clothespins off of the clothesline and couldn't do it. She takes the gun away from them and shoots everyone.
Oh my!
So my husband says that's where I get it. My great grandmother. So anyway,
meaning to the term pistol packing mama, doesn't it?
There you go, guys. It's so good to be with you today. I can't believe 30 minutes just flew by. Thank you so much for being on the show. How can folks get in contact with you real quick? If
they can go to Galloway, ANDCO, Galloway and Company, CO at Gmail. No, what is it? .com. It's .com. I'm getting our email.
That's the website.
That's the website, GallowayandCo.com. Or they can email us at murraygallowayandco@gmail.com.
There you go. Well, guys, thank you so much for being on the show, and much luck to you. Maybe you can come to Alabama sometime.
We'd love to. We'd love to.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for this invitation.
Y'all take care. And thank you so much for watching the show. My name is Donna. I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. Find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications and Abundant Television. Found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. Hope you have a great one. Bye-bye.